New traditions.
Music.
Oh, and the T-shirts. Don't forget to send in your beautiful T-shirts.
You're just destroying my...
Mr. Poe, you're not supposed to interrupt our meditative state.
Mr. Stock, I'm trying to get into the alpha state here so I can really enjoy
Well, if you just shut up, you'll be able to appreciate it.
You keep interrupting the poor
Shut
guy.
up already,
Mr. Stock, would you
Mr.
just be
Poe, you're destroying it for the entire audience.
Mr. Stock, would you just look?
You do this every week. We're doing this meditative thing.
We've got this gambling, Javian music here.
No, you be quiet. You're supposed to be the co-host. And shut up. This would have flowed very nicely if you didn't say anything.
Mr. Stock, I don't know. We're trying to... Shh, just...
I'm going to be very upset.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you Shut up.
Wait, now start now.
What?
Okay, go. Start, go.
Oh, and once again, it is my duty. It's what I have to do. South Florida's Mr. Folk, Michael Stock.
Thank you very much, Mr. Poe.
Welcome, Mr. Stock.
Welcome to New Tradition.
Poetry coming up here. It's going to be a real beatnik experience. We're going to have Graham here playing the bongos while his wife what?
That introduction comes later. You were supposed to...
Well, you asked me about the shirt right now, Mr. Stock. What am I supposed to do? So I thought, well, what better thing to wear for a beatnik experience than my Miami Vice beatnik costume, which I wore by Miami Vice.
You don't have to send in beatnik outfits, but we do want you to send in your T-shirts.
I'll take a beatnik outfit.
And, you know, I really haven't been getting...
See, versatile, can play a toucan. Oops, well, maybe not that
maybe you can play a toucan. Well, let's get down to the business of the show. Our guest is a married couple, as a matter of fact, which is pretty interesting. You wanna...
This is a historical first here. I think this is the first time we've had guests on this show that have actually seen the show before.
Yeah, I've been on there.
Which is an indication of one thing, I think.
What's that?
They probably weren't paying too much attention when they were watching it.
TV box, you know. Oh.
I guess we shouldn't ask
them.
them.
Then they were doing something, probably reading the newspaper, eating breakfast, or who knows.
I guess we shouldn't ask them.
What?
We shouldn't ask them if they like the show, because I really don't know what this. Let's wait on that.
Well, they're here, aren't they?
We're here.
I figured you couldn't have been paying much attention.
We couldn't wait to get on that one.
Well, let's first talk to each guest individually, and then we'll do something together, I guess.
No, Mr. Stock, this is a married couple. You don't have to, I know you like to put things in little boxes. We can do this, talk to them both at once.
Okay, well, fine. Let's talk to them both together, but first to Graham.
All right.
Welcome to the show, Graham. A very popular blues band. And not only that, well, let's get right. Let me show the album here of the Iko Blues Band. It has quite a history. I know. How long has you've been with the band?
10 years now.
10 years, and you're currently, I guess you'll have a regular gig always at Tobacco Road?
Oh yeah, Tobacco Road. It'll be 7 this August.
7?
August 13th will be 7 years at Tobacco Road.
Oh, really?
And you know, Mr. Stock, I'll have to say that for the past 7 years living in Miami, I think that I have seen Graham sing with that particular band just about every weekend.
Just about.
Just about every weekend.
Well, I can understand you being there, Graham. You're working there. What do you do there every weekend, Mr. Poe?
I'm listening to the band.
Remember that there was a Tropic article on you once, and they were talking to you, interviewing you at the road, and they said a blues band was chugging away in the background.
Chugging away.
And that was me.
That was you
great.
chugging away.
But so, have you lived
no
up...
names or anything, just chugging away.
Aware of, one thing that really stood out with the older bands, the other bands, is that you guys did not seem to spend a great deal of time learning new material. But I will say you were very well rehearsed.
Very well.
On those.
Now
is that a tradition you're going to keep up with the new?
No, as a matter of fact, it's not. We remember this from maybe 12 years ago.
We met at 27
We met there at 27 Birds, as a matter of fact, one night. Fleet Starbuck was playing, and you were...
And
I know all about this
Weiser
story.
introduced us.
Mark Weiser introduced us, and I understand you went over and talked to her. You got along great. Talked for hours and hours. You didn't even ask for her phone number.
Well, she didn't have one.
I didn't have one.
Yeah, Jan was living in a car at the time.
No, I wasn't. I was just...
With a ferret.
I was a wallpaper hanger.
Yeah, but you know, it's one of those Grove kind of relationships.
Grove. It's
a romantic story. And then you went back to the same bar night after night.
Night after night, and I left my number there with the bartender, and I said, if you see her, just...
Well, this is a wonderful story, but...
Keep going,
Mr. Stock, I thought you were the sensitive one here. I thought you liked these romantic stories.
This isn't just your regular thing. Guy comes in and plays a song. You're finding out some real in-depth stuff about it.
Yeah, we can hear him sing every weekend.
If we can't blackmail you, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Oh, but where are you going to perform?
Huh? Connecticut are starting you off at $6 an hour because they can't get anybody. Isn't that great on the turnpike?
Right? Listen to Connecticut. Jeez.
What?
Play.
Play.
Thank you, Jen. Would you like to sit here, Jen? And okay, let me just quickly lay them out here. And this is what you do. This is what you do for a living, basically.
Right. Now that I'm a mother of a 4-year-old Bronwyn.
Isn't that pretty? I like that.
You know, that's something I wanted to point out. Probably a lot of people are wondering, what's a hardcore late-night blues man doing up at 9:15 in the morning? Excuse me, Mr. Stock.
That's very
considering the bar where he plays is open until 5 in the morning, probably wondering. And I found out that you guys were taking your little girl to school.
Yes, making ponytails and all that.
And a mother.
You probably think that's touching, don't you, Mr.
In fact,
Stock?
we have a poem right here before the bongo session here. That's pretty kid-like.
Oh, and you also write poetry.
Well, I write poems. Pets for lunch. You've got enough pets to last us a month. There.
All right. Yeah. That's very funny.
I'd like to point out, I'd like to just mention that at my homestead we have many cats roaming around. Yeah, probably more than we really need. You know, if you get a little hungry later, stop on by.
Or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think that's funny. But what about your kid? I mean, your 4-year-old, doesn't
She sings along with us.
She was singing.
Portion of the show.
We're going to get in the mood here. One second.
Crazy man.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah, it's looking good.
I don't want your love and affection. I don't want your constant erection. What I do want is security that only a bank book can give me, and you don't have one. A bank account. No, you don't have one. Something called clout. No, you don't have one. You say you love me, called clout. No, you don't have. Get off me, or I'll lose my mind. I like the way you pay my rent. I like where your money's spent. I like the new Mercedes you just bought me.
Yeah. Cool, baby, heavy, hip, solid, crazy, Flip City. You calling my job, Mr. Stock?
I'm Rudy.
I think you're only half hip, man. I can't believe I have to do a Houdini, plant you now and dig you later.
Move back in my car, right?
So who was this guy who you didn't want your nipples?
Oh, well, it's just life in general. It's the whole...
All of them.
It's that single, crummy, crappy life. Oh, sorry.
This is cable TV.
It's okay.
Crap can be used as referred to trash, garbage,
yeah, but
refuse.
hey, now I'm like major married and happy.
Oh, so it wasn't about Graham.
No.
And I assume the
And
song...
now that I'm getting older, I like older nipples now.
Well, we don't have to delve into that.
My scar?
We can just leave that part of your personal life at home.
Yeah, it's okay.
But Graham, you wrote a song called My Girlfriend is Trash. I assume you wrote that one before you met Jandel, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Are you going to do that song?
Jeez, I don't know.
Well,
That's one of my favorites.
That's one of your favorites, gosh. I wasn't prepared. Let me see what I can do here.
Mr. Stock, I'd like to point out that Mr. Stock was so excited because he thought I'd brought an extra beret. Does this look like a beret to you, Graham?
sort of.
I like it.
It's a throw pillow or something.
I think I
That's
found,
okay, because this isn't a beret either, is it?
I found my niche. This is, I should have been around.
Turn around, I look like Marlon Brando in The Wild One.
Doesn't work for me.
I like this.
That looks homemade. Is that what that is?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any place in South Florida
What do you mean it looks homemade?
we could dress up like this and enjoy the atmosphere?
At our house.
What?
At our house.
Let's go. All right.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
Yeah,
really.
what's for supper?
You know, my birthday party was in the New Times. So.
Is that right?
Birthday party was
party
reviewed.
Now that's hip.
Yeah.
So you have any other connections?
And when we got married, that was in the What's Happening.
What's
the
Happening.
Miami News.
Was that why you got married?
Yes.
Was,
Exactly.
we're just What's
A
Happening.
big
So
publicity
if you
stunt?
if you're so tight with the press, I guess the fact that you're on this show will be probably on the front
Probably,
page of the
it could be
Herald.
something.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Could be.
We'll let you know what's on the air and make some phone calls. And
There might be some old
maybe we'll
Okay. Songs too.
Romantic ballads, don't you, Mr. Stock?
that 50s kind of, you know.
There was like a real honest, sensitive side.
Actually, the inspiration of that, it's kind of interesting. It was down at Rollo's one night. I was hanging out with this other band, and there was this girl there with this like pyramid-shaped haircut, and I was buying her swimming pools or tidy bowls or something all night long. She goes, buy me another drink, buy me another drink.
Toddy bowls?
It's blue drink.
And I thought
And anyway,
about me.
anyway,
married, Graham. Where can Mr. Stock and I meet these trashy girls?
At our house.
At our house. Yeah.
Hey, you said there was better than your hand. That's all the recommendation I need.
That's
I
all.
tell you, at my birthday party, more people connected that
Trashy
night.
women. And
It was Connect City at that birthday party.
I didn't connect.
So after the show,
anybody.
you'll give us your address after the show.
Great.
Come on over.
Come on over, watch.
Come over, watch the show. It'll be great. At our house.
At our house.
That's great.
Yeah,
Great.
we don't mind.
But I'd like to know, this has always fascinated me, because I'm not the type of guy who goes to bars, but you work in bars.
Yeah.
And so what is that atmosphere? Do you mind the smoky atmosphere? Do you mind the drinking that's going on? Is that just part of something you have to put up with?
Not everybody's a prude like you, Mr. Stock.
No. Well, you know, as a matter of fact, it is kind of a shame. I don't drink, and I don't smoke, and I don't do anything, you know, and it's like, and I'm in this environment, it's like,
Do you have any interesting stories of what happens around you or anything?
Maybe you should start doing those things so
No,
you
I
have
just
something to do while you're
started
hanging
doing
out.
Well, it's kind of like if you work at McDonald's, you get kind of tired of the burgers after a while, you know? And it's like
Not for
that's-
$6 an hour, though.
No, really, $6
Connecticut.
an hour, I can eat that. But I'm just saying, you know.
Mr. Stock, you have that new haircut.